Trends O'Clock. This is Trends KE with KK Cedrick.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to be back. This is Trends KE. My name is KK Cedrick, and you're watching the Alternative Voice. It's yet another Thursday, an amazing day for another amazing show that comes to you every Thursday at 8 p.m. East African time. And tonight, a lot has been happening over the week, mostly around politics in Kenya. As those of you who've been following so much, temperatures are rising, people are getting angry. Debates are happening. I don't know what's your take on the debate that happened last time. That will be part of what we will be discussing. I'm talking about the Nairobi governors debate and so much more around politics. Today I have two guests on the show, one Brenda Gatwiri and another guest that we have had before on this platform. I'm talking about Okanga, all the way from Hungary. He will be joining us and give us his 2 cents of what he thinks about the politics that is taking place currently in Kenya. We are only a few days, that's 25 days to the polls day, 9th of August. Are you ready for this election? Who do you think will be carrying the day? We have polls, they are saying they're on. We have someone accepting the polls, some are denying the poll. That is just a bit of what we are going to have on this discussion tonight. Welcome to the show. Send in your questions, your comments, and concerns under the comment section. And whether you're watching us on YouTube, we shall be reading them in my guests. Sorry for that. And that is him, Okanga Tiberius, all the way from Hungary. Good evening, bro. It should be evening there. How are you doing? And how is everything over there?
Good evening, Cedric. I'm good, and I hope everyone is good. Everything is cool here. I hear people are complaining about cold weather in Kenya. I'm here to disagree with you. There's no cold weather in Kenya.
Nairobi baridi na angaisha watu bwana. Baridi. Wanasema
Here,
si baridi.
Here, if the temperature is 19 degrees, people walk almost naked because we know what is cold weather and we know what is hot weather. So you are enjoying the hot weather.
It is hot, Robert. It was just 18 degrees sometime yesterday, and we were freezing.
There's no cold weather there. I used to think so until I came here. So
How low does it get over there?
Here it goes as low as negative 13, 15. Yeah.
Now I can agree that it's not.
That's when we now talk about you don't even want to step outside your house, but you must step out because you have to do 1, 2, 3. But it's always cold. Winter is super bad here. But now the temperatures are good. We are enjoying the hot sunny weather of summer. We are the temperature today. The temperature was as high as 34. So yeah, we are good. It's super hot.
That should be super hot over
Yeah.
there. But negative 13, that's too much. So
and a snow to us is with a snow of 10 centimeters snow everywhere. You know that is hell. So Kenya ni upepo tu inawashtua alafu homa.
Sure thing. And thanks a lot for accepting our invite here. I can see our other guest has already arrived, and before we begin this, I'll be introducing her as well. Thank you very much, Brenda. How are you? Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Tiberius here, Okanga has also arrived all the way from Hungary. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for showing up, Brenda.
Oh, I appreciate it too.
So we shall be getting into this discussion just around politics here in Kenya. And I'm sure, Okanga, you've been following what has been happening here in politics. And I'll start with the issue of the debates. I don't know if you followed the Nairobi governors debate that happened. what would you think about the whole idea of the debate, Tiberius? The whole idea of the debate. Do you think it's well thought out to be able to make the voters understand what their people or their leaders want to bring to the table? Do you think the whole idea of debate is well thought out?
Thank you, KK. I have to admit that in this few number, less than a month to the polls day, 90% of Kenyans have made their mind and they know who they are going to vote for and why they're going to vote for candidate X and not candidate Y. So the Nairobi gubernatorial debate, I think for formality, yes, they did it. First of all, I don't like the idea where you divide the candidates into two sections. This is most powerful. These are not powerful as they do it always. I mean, in my own opinion, that is demeaning some of the candidates who, well, I listened to the two debates and the first four persons. Some of them had mature and very good reasonings, which of course many of Kenyans did not bother. They waited for the two giants. And when it comes to the two giants, it is not easy. According to me, it is not easy. If judgments are to be done using debates, I think my judgment will be very difficult to tell who is better than who. Forget about the eloquency of Sakaja and forget about the administrative perfection, the leadership perfectionist, Mr. Do It Right, Igade.
Yes.
It is very difficult. I'm sorry, I have to refrain on saying my side on who I could support in Nairobi because I could vote. I can't vote in Nairobi. My vote is, if I'm to vote, my vote is casted in Homa Bay. And right now, if I'm voting, and my diaspora vote is only for the presidential candidate, which is one vote. So I think that debate about Nairobi is a bit interesting. The two giant candidates, each of them have an upper hand. I was telling my friends when we were watching it that Sakaja is smart when it comes to English, you see, and he really tried to articulate and bring out his points super to a point that
Yes.
people forget Igade is smarter than Sakaja.
Wow,
If you are
thank
really
you.
watching, if you are watching the debate and your IQ is, you have a good IQ, then I think I'll say those two candidates were at par. None is better than none. And for your information, by 2027, I'll be having my PhD, another degree. So there will be no
Wow.
scandals on Sakajalization of my papers when I'll be buying for this seat here and there. Thank you, Mr. KK. And I had not said hi to my co-guest. Hi, Brenda. Thanks. Nice meeting you.
A pleasure.
Yeah.
Pleasure. Pleasure is all mine.
Thank you. There's a lot of drama around papers in this town. They are saying that those with papers have no jobs and those with jobs are looking for the papers. And I'll bring you in. I'll bring you in, Brenda. I know Brenda is totally partisan, so I'll throw the question to you, Brenda. Who do you think carried the day during that debate and why?
Okay, just as Okanga has said, yeah, you can't judge, or rather, we can't just keep on depending on debate, whereas you don't know what you're bringing on the table. First thing first, you might be so good or rather smart in English, so eloquent, you can speak well, yani ile utamu ya maneno mdomo, but what are you on the table? Do you know how to search for the votes well? Do you know how to dig out the votes? Will you help the Kenyans? Ama your work is going to the TVs, debating this and that, using proper English, eloquency. No, that's not what we want. We want a person who is going to work for this county, a person who is going to make this county progress, a person who is going to bring proper things on the table. Yeah, that's my stand.
Thank you very much. And talking of a person who will bring what the voters need on the table, there is the whole issue of opinion polls. Opinion polls has had divided views from different people depending on the sides to which they are supporting. And up to this moment, most of the opinion polls that have happened within this month and later last month have shown that Right Honorable Raila Odinga is leading in percentage-wise in the whole of the nation, the percentage of the total voters, according to the number of those that have been interviewed on the same. So, Tiberius, do you think that the issue of the opinion poll will have a psychological impact of making people vote for a certain candidate? That I'm talking about if there is indeed a percentage that are undecided. You think that the whole perception that a certain person is winning will move them towards voting for this person?
I'll say yes. KK, because I think you did media in your studies, you know very well that use of a loose leader, the word loose leader, really plays a very vital role when it comes to business advertisements or popularity issues. I can confirm, or I can say here that most of these opinion polls are sponsored by individuals with interest. I can tell you for free. So that we have that loose leader. It is in the air. Raila is winning. Tomorrow, Raila is winning. Day after tomorrow, Raila will be winning in this opinion poll here and there. And then today, day after tomorrow, another opinion polls come. Ruto is winning. Another day tomorrow, Ruto is winning. Soon you might even be surprised if Wajakoya can pay good money to these bloggers and opinion poll creators. Wajakoya can top. So it is a good campaign strategy. It's called to weaken the enemy. So yes, it has an impact on the voters' choice. A lot of it, for that matter. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And Brenda,
Yes,
do you
yes.
think that? Let me ask you, Brenda. Do you think that these opinion polls represent the actuality on the ground? That Raila Odinga is winning by as much as 52-53%.
Yes, very, very much true. You know, one thing with Baba, Baba the Fifth, this man, he has the people's interest at heart. This we all know. Baba fought for the second liberation of this nation. He's among the second liberators of this nation, and far from that, right now there's that liberation that is still impacting, or rather trying to impact on us. And that liberation, it is all about the youth empowerment and industrialization, so that we can try to curb all this thing of unemployment in the youth sector, or rather, how we can help the youth get jobs out there. So for me, he has that impact, and truly he's leading because the ground imemkubali all over it's Azimio, and this is because this man has the people's interest at heart. He has a way of impacting all these votes and drawing them on his side. When you come to the other side, Ruto, yes, yellow represents hope, but I don't see hope on that side. I'm not speaking on biasness or anything, no, but the
Yes.
fact
Okay.
the opinion polls,
Sure.
even if they are being hata kama it is inatengenezwa with anyone or from whichever place, you can't pay the opinion polls and still pay the ground. You understand my point? You can't go pay someone, maybe I want to be the leading person. It's fine, then you can be the leading person, but what does the ground say about you? So to me, even if it's a matter of payment or not, the opinion polls are genuine. Some of them are genuine, and yes, Baba is leading.
Well, some of them are genuine. Tiberius,
Yeah.
there are opinion polls, and then there is the whole campaign that these leaders take to the ground. There is the hustler movement, which DP Ruto represents. He's saying that his interests are for the real hustler. And on the other hand, Raila Odinga moves his campaigns depending on specific regions. For instance, today he was in Mombasa, And around the whole coastal region, he has been fronting governor, the governor of Mombasa, Joho, to talk about the whole land issue, knowing that in the coastal region, there are so many people who have no title deeds to their lands. So they try to touch on the issues that are affecting people in that area. My question is, do you think that all these ideas that these politicians are selling on the rallies are just populist to make sure that they catch the vote, or they represent indeed what the people want addressed, and that they are sure of them being addressed by the leaders who are fronting these ideas? If you got my question.
Thank you, KK. I have a very interesting view. I'm not buying the wheelbarrow nonsense,
Yes.
and I'm not buying the 6,000 nonsense. Why I'm buying Raila Odinga's ideas is because of the firm stand of Martha Karua. At Martha Karua's arguments, I agree that it is doable. Bro, what is the disease there is corruption. I think I've say I have the virtue of having traveled to several countries in Europe. And tomorrow I'm going to meet Dan in Belgium as well. So I know what good governance does. I know what order does. I know what the little money a country has can do. For your information, the currency here is Kenyan currency is stronger than the currency in Hungary, but you can't compare the two economies. You can't compare the two government organizations just because they have a system that is working. But in Kenya, if someone is coming and tell you, vijana tutafanya hii, vijana tunakuja kufanya hii, left everybody is just yelling yes, yes, yes. Then at the end of the day, it's not addressing the main issue. I think that is the point where most of the people who are really enlightened, and I came to realize that Kenyans are, most of us are just sycophants. Sycophants. Like even if Ruto does something wrong or Raila does something wrong, we come and defend. Yes, Baba did this, but the other person also did this. It is not an equalizer. Wrong is wrong and right is right. So if Ruto is saying this, will give you wheelbarrows, I'll uplift you. Actually, they're not telling us how it is possible. The moment you tell us that Kenya is a rich nation, very rich for information, we have a lot of resources that if can be properly utilized, we can be leading. But the disease there is corruption. With Martha Karua, if I follow her rallies because she says tutapigana na ufisadi, and I swear if any of them can come and fight the corruption disease and ensure that the staff is money is working, is doing proper planning of the economy and the country, will be far much ahead. And at this point, I think why Raila is leading even this opinion polls, or the popularity has increased, is the choice of that lady, I swear.
Yes.
Rigathi was too nice until he was appointed to be the deputy president, running mate. He was too nice until he became, I don't know what came over Rigathi. I also wanted him to be Ruto's deputy, so that we have real competition. Yes. But the moment he came, he started speaking the real him. You know, people might not know you. We used to know Rigathi by appearance and speaking in the Kikuyu dialect. Not until now he was given now the mic to be the DP. He's now speaking things he doesn't understand. He's just talking. He's full of asera. That is what I can say. But at the my argument is based on corruption is the main disease affecting Kenya. Kenya is a very rich nation. If you tell everybody, assume in a country where everybody's driving wheelbarrows, or a country where everybody's depending on 6,000. Here in Europe, somebody is not educated, somebody without a degree. You just know how to read A, B, C, D up to Z. That's a very good salary. There are good job opportunities here. They work and they have their money. But in Kenya, somebody with a master's, KK Cedrick, you are a graduate. You still don't know your fate well. I'm sure Brenda is a graduate. She still doesn't know her fate. Same case, I was the same situation when I was in Kenya. And even now, if I come back to Kenya, I don't know my fate. But here, it is a guarantee. Actually, school is there, it's looking for people. That's why we fall we say we were lucky to have fallen for the scholarship award.
Oh,
That
thank
is
you.
the
And I'll
first
be
time.
coming back. Yes, I'll be coming back to that question as we discuss the whole issue of the deputy president, because they have also a debate coming up next week. But I'll bring you in, Brenda. There is the whole issue of the debates, the rallies, and what is said on the rallies. Mostly, the deputy president has focused on the youths, and he is talking about the Hustler Fund. He is talking about lifting the youth. On the other hand, Raila Odinga is also having his narrative of how he's going to lift the youth and everybody else. What do you think sets the two apart?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Cedrick. What I think about on Rigathis and Ruto's side about the youth, or on the issues concerning the youth. Ruto has been, let me start with Ruto. He has been on in the position of the vice president of this nation for 10 clean years. What has he done for the youth? He has done absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. We can say that Ruto, or rather, the vice president has assisted the youth of this nation in this and that. No, he has not. So to me, whatever he's saying that he can help the youth with, why didn't he do it in the past 10 years? What is it that he's going to do now that he was not able to do in the past 10 years? And then on the other side, in Baba's manifesto, we have the industrialization and youth empowerment. That's why he's talking about it in all rallies. And it is true because in his manifesto in industrialization and youth empowerment, there's for one county and one product. That's the time where we need experienced and good governors with proper knowledge who can acquire, or rather who can get industries at the county level from the national government. And by this, it will help to curb this unemployment stuff for the youths. Every youth gets employed in one way or the other. That's why I see that that Baba has he's more logic than Ruto, because Ruto, he has been there. He promised laptops. He promised heaven on earth, but he didn't accomplish even a single of it. But right now he's out there trying to lie to the youths. As youths, I'm a youth myself, that when I'm there, all youths will be employed. I don't know, do this and that. Why didn't he do that in the past 10 years? And then you see in Baba's, on the other side, on Baba's, I'm still on the Baba's manifesto on industrialization and youth empowerment. The amount of money, like he says, it will be in for the county funds. It is going to be increased at a higher percentage. And you can imagine for now, if, for example, like my governor, Kiraitu Murongi, if he used to get 15%, what about if it is increased to 35%? What can he do, or what impact can he do with it? Of course, he has done some little work in the county. We can 5%. So there's so much work that can be done, and I think yes, Baba is not setting out propagandas. No, he has the people's interest at heart, and as a matter of fact, this is the third liberation is just part of his manifesto and part of his movement. And by that, when he goes to all rallies and says that I help the youths in this way or that, it can be seen, because when he tries to explain, you can see the impact in it.
Thank you, Brenda. I'll just take it back a little bit. Tiberius, it is barely 25 days to the election day, and the politicians are now on the rallies up and down, going to at least 4 or 5 places a day. Do you think that at this moment, everyone has made their mind on who they are going to elect on the 9th of August? Or whatever the politicians are doing as from now and the date of the poll is going to determine who is going to be president?
I think right now it is all about who is more energetic than the other person. who puts more energy is called the finishing gear. That is also very important. You can't underestimate that. And I can say for freely that there are the elite persons who are still not convinced that these are the same people who still want to vote them in. Kenyan politics is a very interesting cycle. When 2007, the two were on the same side, they were angels. From 2013, because they have been on the other sides, there have been hyenas and sheep. They can't meet till date. So right now, it is a few, there's that cocoon of persons who are still not yet convinced. But the majority of Kenyans are convinced. And I told you that by the fact goes, and this is the fact, that people will still vote based on their tribal. That is a fact. We can't ignore that. Tribal voting is still going to take place. And as at now, it is just trying to get the tempo and say, yes, I'm getting it. I'm close to it. Create that phobia. This person is doing this person. All the campaign tactics and attacks on the opponents. That is what is really now happening. But I think the two candidates are really doing it. Some people, those who have taken sides, really say, yes, we know our candidate is doing it right and we are winning this. So the last hour campaign is the best. That is the best campaign, I think. Yeah.
Thank you. And I'll ask you the same question, Brenda. Do you think that between now and the day of the poll, there is a difference? Because according to you, Raila is winning. Do you think that between now and the 9th of August, there is a difference that is going to make to the votes that is going to get? Or is there a possibility of losing ground within this given time?
Okay, thank you for that question. Let me say, there's impact. There's a great. You know why I'm saying this? It's because a person like the Vice President William Samoei Ruto, he started his campaign very much early. I think like 2 years ago, he had started campaigning for himself. But when we tend to look at this other side, the wave is different. Baba just started thereafter, after the Vice President, and after he appointed his running mate, just 2 months or 3 months to election, it has created a big impact. So even the remaining days, they have a great impact because the ground is changing, the wave is changing, everything is changing. You understand?
Yes,
Yeah. So so I think there's a great impact on that. And most probably, yes, I can say it's a battlefield. And since the ground is changing and the wave is changing, so we can say Baba is getting it because everything is turning out positive on his end.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me just go briefly through the comments on those who are watching. Tuned from Kakamega, Christine Ayeko. Thank you very much, Christine, for tuning into the show. Daniel Jaka is tuned in all the way from Kochi, India. Thanks, Don. We have Alex Onsase. Siasa imeshika moto. Please tuchambulie wale watalose petition 13K zitakuwa handled aje. That's Alex Onsase. Ai Brenda, Azimio sio kila mahali, tuko half. That's JK also tuned into the show, and we have Shiru Kim there agreeing with you, Mr. Okanga, and on that agreement of hers, I'll ask you this question. Temperatures are rising indeed, and recently, and the deputy president was captured in a clip speaking. I don't know if you have seen that clip, speaking to a certain youth, and it has painted him in not so good light because he has always referred to himself as a hustler, and people expected that this youth should be your fellow hustler. You can't just talk to him like that by asking una nijibu kama nani. That that didn't paint him in good light. But he has actually turned it around, and he's saying he's angry because the economy in Kenya is not so good. These rising temperatures, I'd like you to address it from this perspective of the deputy president as a leader and reacting that quickly to a youth, then from the whole aspect of changing the campaigns into something that would make it not so safe getting into the 9th August poll, because violence has been in Kenya before. 2007 was the worst, and no one would want to get back into something of that sort. What should these politicians do going forward, given that, and I'm talking from the point that they are actually tired, those campaigns and rallies every day, every minute, they are drained, they are stressed, everyone wants to win. How should they carry themselves temperamentally so that they don't get the nation into a situation that it has been in before?
With the current timing of the politics, temperatures, rising temperature, tension is expected. It's something normal. It's like a gene that is now in the heart and is pumping blood throughout the body. And remember, Madag will say, have it in your lungs so that when you breathe out, it is gone.
It goes.
And the politicians knows how to master the heart of putting it in the lungs, but they inject the DNA into the heart of Kenyans. So rise in tension is normal. I mean, it's something which is there. And the politicians, these politicians are very smart. They prepare you psychologically. That one thing, if I win, I win. If I lose, my votes have been stolen. So you see that? The two giants, I'm telling you for free. If I win, yes, I win. If I lose, my votes, the election was not fair. You are going to see this after 9th election. And I think the utterances by the deputy president is, I don't know, I'll categorize Ruto, but it's just some smart guy who want to outshine everything and everyone. Manyora describes him as the one-man show. Actually, Ruto is really a one-man show. I'm telling you for free. And if he wins the presidency, I think it's the type of the president we will be hearing breaking news at midnight. I've sacked all the cabinet. I've transported them all to Tanzania. I'm going tomorrow to do this. Actually, I think it's that kind of man. And I don't know why he's sounding bitter, because I don't know, because he's the sitting deputy president. He's been in the government. One hand is complaining that the economy is bad, blah, blah, blah. He's in the office. So at the end of the day, or when you draw the line, I understand it's called politics, and politics of I'm lacking the word to say sympathy always wins.
Yes.
Those who are sympathized, voters, if voters sympathize for you, I tell you, you are going to win. But then I think he's trying to do double standards. On the one hand, he wants sympathy. On the other hand, is Mr. Right. We've done this right. We've done this. The other hand, this has not been done right by these people. So it's, according to me, it's full of controversies. It's not consistent in his campaign, just like the other team. Azimio Raila is consistent. Even if you shout at him today, he will stand up and say he's 6,000. He will talk about his kazi kwa vijana and one product, one county. He will talk about Baba Care, Semeni Baba Care. He will talk about his, how do we say, education, free education. I mean, it's consistent. It's not changing this. So if somebody is to buy, if you like his ideas, I think you will buy them straight away. But Mr. Ruto is too smart. He's outshining even himself. That's my fear with the Ruto, because he's full of controversies. Yeah.
Thank you. And Brenda, and I don't know if you'll have a response to what Okanga said, but I'll ask you this: in case there's that percentage that many polls have given of undecided voters, and mostly the youth, there are many who are even voting for their first time, and they haven't made up their minds on who they are going to vote, what would you tell them that should influence the kind of person that they are going to elect, and not only the president, but even up to governors, because governors mean a lot to the county governments and the whole development at the county level?
Okay, thank you. First thing, voting, it is a civil right for each and every citizen in this nation. Each and every citizen has a right to vote. And for this, let's say the youth who are undecided and they think that they don't want to vote because of their best known reason known to them, I would urge them to come out and vote in big masses. And this is because your vote is your voice. At least you'll have a chance to vote for the person you want. If it is Baba, you'll have a chance to vote for this Baba. You want the change, vote for this person who you believe that is going to bring change in the community, change in the society, and so that you can take this nation to a better place. You need to come out, vote for that person. Even if he or she fails, you have to vote for him. Ensure that through your vote he or she wins, or rather even if he loses, just know that you played your first step role. By that, at least, even if things don't go your way, you'll have a chance to say, at least I voted, at least I did this and that to impact something in this nation. But you can't just sit down and claim that the economy is bad, everything is bad in this country, and everything is not flowing well. Whereas when you had a chance to vote for this leader of your choice, whom you think that he or she can impact this change in the society, you did not do the necessary. Whereas other people went outside, they voted, and they accepted the person that they thought that this person is good for them. So I think it's good for the youth and the rest of the people, not just the youth, even the elderly, the ones who are undecided. Please just come out and vote. And voting, it is a civil right. It is a civil right for everyone in this nation. Yeah.
Thank you. Wow, thank you. And I'll ask you the same question, Tiberius. Most of the youth, and there are most people actually who are even influenced on the day of the vote. They are influenced on the actual day of the vote. Some are given money that determines who they are going to vote. There are people who wait by polling stations, which is actually not legal. Campaigns are supposed to end way before the election day, but it does happen that some people campaign up to the voting day and they try to bribe people into voting for them. In case there are those kind of people who have not made up their minds on who they are going to vote, what do you think you will inform them that should inform their choice of leader to elect at both levels up to MCA?
One thing we have to agree here, Mr. KK, that these persons who are going to exercise their voting for the first time, I was in the same mood way back in 2013 when I first voted. So I think I've seen and I've had friends who say, I don't care whether I vote, what. I mean, America was in that situation long time back. That's why they say we are still behind when it comes to democratic maturity. People in America could say, no, we are not going to vote, until they got some road leaders. Those who weren't accepted to vote went and did mess the system, and then they said racial discrimination came up. Now for these youths to vote in America, there was the Mississippi massacre. If you read some nice books, history books, there was that Mississippi massacre. That changed a lot of the youth's impact when the blacks were voting. I mean, the blacks were being discriminated. The blacks had no rights. And then Luther King came out to empower them. And then at the same time, the white youths, they said, we can't be overpowered by black youths. We are going to vote to tell them that we are still superior. And that is how the maturity came, until they reached a point, they said, no, we are equal, we are all human beings. I respect your opinion, I respect your opinions. We can now vote in a black president. Barack Obama came in. In Kenya, I'll refer to Brenda. Brenda, I'm proud of you because at least you are into politics. Gender, your gender at your age. All they know is, babe, kwani tunapigia Wajakoya kesho ama tunapigia Ruto? I'm open. That is 80%, 80% of your gender. But I'm proud of you because you are following politics and you know what is going, you know what is happening. KK, these youths who are going to vote for the first time, beyond Facebook, WhatsApp status, and Netflix, they know very little. I'm telling you for free. They know, they don't care. I mean, they know little, but they don't care what is happening beyond Facebook, beyond Twitter, Instagram, and now there's TikTok. That's what they feel is the cocoon of their life. But then when they go to the shop, they say, "Whoa, today the hunger was 230. Whoa, today what?" And they can't. Someone who is 18 is assumed in Kenya that is a mature person, someone who can start a family, someone who can work, someone who can make, paired judgment, not impaired. Impaired will lead him to imprisonment. So the youths have just decided to be in that cocoon. The reality will hit them when they now want to. Now I want to start. I want to start a family, and you know that is now the third cycle of them voting. I want to start a family. This is difficult. I can't. Where is the problem? Where is really this the problem? So it's when they'll say, "Oh, it is because of this leadership. This person is not making sense. This." Just like football. Previously, ladies were not into football until, let me say, Kenyan man forced them that we must watch football even if you're my girlfriend or not. To me, I'm watching football if you don't want. And then they started getting interest. Nowadays, I see most ladies are interested in football. They're following football. It's the same case with politics because politics, football Premier League occurs annually, but politics in Kenya, voting happens after 5 years. So in the third cycle, they realize, oh, the most important thing is to buy the ideas so that if I have good governance, my life will change. The economy will not be this bad. I don't want to use bad words in this show. The economy will be perfect. Yes, so that is it. But the youths will come out of their cocoon, think and say yes. And let them not vote with the mass that, yes, we are going to vote Ruto, we are going to vote Raila. And Wajakoya came in because some of them like the leaves of sativa and cannabis. So they said, yes, everything is Wajakoya. That is the wave they are going. You see? That is, according to me, is why some of the youths are not decided. They have not failed there. Those voting for the first time, they have not felt the impact of the economy. If I'm real with them, they have not felt the impact. They have never been in a situation where, oh, today I don't have this and I can't get it because I don't have money. But where's the problem? I'm a graduate. I have money. Where's the problem?
Yeah. Wow, thank you. And Brenda, and he has congratulated you there with reference to you getting into politics and trying your way in being youthful and being a lady, for fact. And I'll bring you into the whole question of the upcoming debate that will be on next week. That's in case you have a response what he has said, you shall do it as you even respond to this question because of time. The debate has also been grouped into two groups. There will be the first one and then the second one being that there are 4 running mates to the 4 presidential candidates. And Martha Karua will be battling it out with Rigathi of UDA. What do you expect in this whole conversation between mostly the two running mates? What do you expect to come out of this debate?
Thank you so much. First, let me we're appreciating Tiberius, and I concur with you, Tiberius. For the youths, it's true, they're very much undecided, and the youths of this nation currently, most of them, just as you have said, they are just like, babe, tutapigia nani kura, it is Wajakoya or Baba or Ruto. And then what you hear, maybe your father or dad or your babe or whoever saying, that's what you follow the masses, but you don't know what you want. That's not the issue. Because if there's a sober youth out there and they know what is good for this nation, they will just analyze all the manifestos and walk uprightly in the right direction. But now here came Wajakoya, who wants to legalize the weed, and most of the youths are into this thing. So they find so much fanciness in it, in that they'll say, Wajakoya the fifth, because of what? the weed, EBC, etc. But when you listen to Baba has the sustainable goals for the youth. Because in Baba's government, we will have economic processing zone, and here many youths will try and get employed. We'll cap this unemployment issue through this economic processing zone. Now, this is what they don't understand. This is what they don't know. And that's why you hear most of the youths, I'm not going to vote, or if I'm going to vote, I'm going to vote for this and or for this person because of majorly this and that, maybe weed or whatever reason, you see. But they don't know specifically what they want, or rather what their interest is. Yeah, to our next question about mother and Rigath's debate. First of all, as you all know, mother is a very, let's say, intelligent and wise lady. Her having pursuing or done law, we can see even from the way she talks in her rallies, the way she inquires her votes from people, the way she tries to dig out votes from people. This lady is a lady of substance, a phenomenal woman. She's just outstanding. But now here comes Rigathi and Mother in a debate. For sure, according to me, Mother is going to beat him 10-0.
Wow.
Because Mother is very intellect. Mother is very intellect. And Mother is a very visionary leader, not just a leader or rather a politician. She's a visionary leader. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Brenda. And as you wind up with your final remarks, Tiberius, because of time, I'll also throw to you the same question. Here we have Rigathi, we have Martha Karua, and that's how they have planned it. The media who are hosting the debate have decided to have the two at the prime time. How do you think this will go down, and what issues would you want the two to address?
I can see Brenda's really taken firm action that in the debate, Martha will have the day.
Yeah.
I saw a meme that few days, the day after the Nairobi gubernatorial debate, somebody wrote the meme and it was in some local dialect and I'll translate it. The meme was saying that we've seen for the two gentlemen. Let's wait and see how Gachagua is going to argue with the three ladies. So I don't know if you get the joke out of it. If arguing with one of the Brendas, you can't win the argument easily. What if there are three? So I think that is the biggest burden Gachagua is having. How he's gonna outsmart the three ladies is having assignment, but I'm sure Gachagua is a debater. Is not that weak or cheap in his words. I know he's going to talk a lot to overpower. That is his tactic. He's going to talk a lot with energy. You know, Martha is going to be soft-spoken but energetic also. That with the government, this. But Gachagua is going to talk with a lot of energy and vigor. You know, that is how you can feel someone is into something. So the debate is not going to be an easy one. Actually, it is the most interesting than the presidential debate, according to me. Because I will want to hear one side is claimed Gachagua is corrupt, the other side, Martha is the perfect clean water, as it is claimed. So I want to see how these two people want to meet. I'm sure there are questions that will anger Gachagua. It will be asked by the moderators and it will anger him. And that the debate will take directions. I'm sure I can foresee that coming. Because I know if I'm the one to moderate, he made a statement that my accounts are frozen. If I made the deputy presidents, I'll ensure the accounts are working and I give people money to drink porridge here. I mean, atachukua mic as the normal norm of Gachagua. So when Gachagua takes the mic, we're gonna see. It's interesting. I can't be judgmental right now, but I see it's going to be the toughest debate ever. So
Yes.
let's see, and let's wait and see who carries the day. Because the presidential debate, of course, for the presidential debate, we know who is going to win in the presidential debate. So, but in this one of the vice presidents, we know who's going to mess, and we know who's going to be Mr. Right. So let's hope it's going to be interesting. Sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you very much. I can see time is not on our side, and we will have to close it there. Thanks a lot for showing up, Tiberius. It's been a while since you're on this show, and I'm hoping that if we ask on you some other time, if you are available, you'll be able to show up.
Sure.
Thank you, and thank you, Brenda, for the very first time for availing yourself for this show. Please, if we ask you to come again, after that.
It's okay. Thank you so much.
I think. Thank you for everybody who has been watching the show. This is the Alternative Voice. I hope to see you next week, same time, same place, and please follow our channels and our platforms: the Alternative Voice, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on Instagram. We shall be seeing you next week, and please follow our platforms for breaking news. We have them there. See you next week. Bye bye.